What do you mean?
What?
You trying yourself?
Hi.
Back at it again, like we never left. Coke and Dank, Dank and Coke. It's the Lethal Weapons.
Hey, Dank.
Hey.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Coke. I needed that. It was a long week, man.
What is a man's ultimate shame?
What is a man's ultimate shame?
When he runs into a wall with a hard-on and grabs his nose first.
You were reading for like a good 10 minutes. There were ones that you tested. I was like, this is good.
No, I didn't.
The ones that the shitty ones that you're like, eh, and I chuckled. I gave a little. You will not get a for that.
Yeah,
one.
well, PMS is not a joke. Period.
That's a good one. That's a good one. It's no joke. But you could make
Period.
that. Yeah, you make that so good now for our 2 female audience listeners.
Why does it take 1 million sperm to fertilize an egg? They don't stop and ask for directions.
That's pretty good. Pick a new site. That's like
This is terrible.
You're picking the same. You're on the same site. Don't do that.
What's the difference between a wife and a mistress?
What's the difference?
About 50 pounds.
That was a good one. Someone's gonna
That's all we're getting.
yeah, we're gonna hate mail for that one, but it was good. If you laughed, of the 3 you said,
I was going male joke, female joke, male joke, female joke. For those that weren't paying attention.
they're all basically female jokes. Your first male joke wasn't a male joke. It was stupid.
It was dumb. They got incrementally
Stupid.
better.
Yes,
I give
they
it that.
did. Yeah.
Do you ever put like a podcast on in the background
Yes.
and not really listen to what's happening?
Well, I don't.
And then you'll tune in and catch random words.
I do that with like talk shows, podcasts. With the design,
Yeah,
I
it's
want to
just-
listen
yeah.
to what's going on.
'Cause I know, like I know people that's like, oh, I'm playing video games and this soundtrack's not really doing it for me, so
Right.
I put a podcast on and listen.
Right.
I was like, how do you do that? Really?
Because you can zone
I guess
out
it
to
depends.
video
I
games.
guess it depends
Yeah.
if you're playing like Tetris or something. Or...
No, why do you go to like the arbitrarily old game? Like if you're playing Pac-Man, of course you can listen to
Actually,
other things.
no. There's a new Tetris game.
Is it 3D?
Yeah, no, it's like it's like a battle royale Tetris.
Texas Hold'em
Where
style
you're playing,
Tetris?
no, you're playing
Oh my
against other
gosh,
people.
Snowman.
You're playing against other people at the same time, and you can
Okay.
like throw pieces at them. I think
Alright.
into there, so then they get random pieces. Something
So
like that. I've never played it.
That
but,
game, I don't think you can listen to a podcast.
no, because you're too focused.
But most.
But if you're gonna be playing a video game that you don't really need to listen to, why don't you just? Never mind.
what
I'm
video
gonna
game do you
sound
need
old.
to? Yeah, but what video game do you need to listen to? Half the time they have cutaway scenes and then the,
Oh, I play-
the text on the bottom.
No, but a lot of them I play for the story. But so if you're reading the text in the bottom, are you listening to the podcast at the same time? I can't do that. If you're reading,
No, but it's a podcast, so you can click out for 3 minutes to be like, oh, make sure you pick up this key in the next room, you motherfucker.
oh, so you're tuning in. Okay,
You're
makes sense.
asking me, the least likely of your gaming friends you know.
It was rhetorical, and then we just kept going like it was.
Again, I'll hook up
doesn't
my
matter.
SNES Mini and play some Ghosts and Ghouls, where I don't
Did
really...
you, did you chip that thing yet?
No, should I? I should
To add more questions, it might get some more games on it.
I have to still play the games I have on it currently, right? It's one thing to expand when you...
Yeah, but does it have a USB port?
What, to plug in?
Yeah.
No, it's a HDMI.
But does it have a USB port at all?
Maybe for the controller?
So you could probably
Put
put
it in like player
programs there, like mod it, right?
Maybe.
It's soft mod, so you just plug it in.
2. I assume so. I think everything is
So now you can do that with
available to mod.
Yeah, you can do that with the PlayStation one, because
Okay.
Sony gave up on that because
Well,
they're like, this failed.
That's
so
PlayStation. That's an easy give up. Although you're through and through true and true.
I am, but the PlayStation Mini sucks.
That's your I am.
I am. Hey guys, I am.
Never Xbox? No.
Yeah, I had Xbox.
No, I mean you're never going back. Or has Microsoft lost the console wars?
They're losing this one.
This is how much you want to avoid the actual topic of the day.
No, I'm good with the topic. We're rambling.
Yeah, we went straight in it. I haven't seen you in so long.
I know. How you been?
This console war is really getting me down. Clearly, it's fucking heavy on my mind that we completely forgot why we came here to talk.
Because I can talk about video games
all
day.
This is kind of the first time we haven't spent an hour just shooting the shit before we push record.
Yeah, you're right. Normally, normally we like talk for an hour.
And then you're like, yo, you've been here so long. It's like, yeah.
Fuck, we're gonna get recording. Hurry up.
We haven't done anything. But this one, you're like, all right,
now
we'll start.
It's kind of bled into it.
I'm all for it because you have to edit this motherfucker. I don't. I get to sit.
I don't. I just.
Yeah, you don't.
I just leave it.
Yeah, you everything makes final.
I just let it ride.
You guys get unedited quality.
It's basically raw files with some music thrown in the beginning.
Yeah, it is. The 3 people listening now. Thank you for subscribing, third person.
Hi, Chaz.
If his name is Chaz, his mind's blown right now. There's a stoner somewhere in like Thailand. Like, oh my god, they know me.
Shit. Actually, we have a couple listeners. I did look at the stats.
We have stats, first of all. So
we have a couple listeners in Japan.
Kudos to us. We have the fact that we have stats.
We have Japan and Czech Republic.
Good lord. Well,
yeah.
I roll deep in the Czechs.
Canada.
I roll deep in the Czechs.
The Czechs.
We don't call it Republic anymore. We just call it Czechs. So that's definitely my influence.
But today we're going. I almost said road less traveled, but it's not really. We're going.
It
deep.
was,
yeah.
And we're glad that it's not anymore.
No, because there's great stories, there's great history, there's great characters.
For women,
yeah.
In comics, and for a long time we hadn't really got to see that in a primary role in a lot of movies and TV shows that we were getting. But now it seems, definitely with the 2 big conglomerates, DC and Marvel, that they're definitely putting women first, or at least 2 specific characters up front. So that's what we're kind of tackling today.
So and one for DC, one for Marvel. Obviously, Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel are the 2 we're focusing on mainly today because
that's what the industry is focused on mainly today.
Yeah,
which is good. It's been long over. Like when you consider how many Batman movies have hit the mainstream audience compared to Wonder Woman movies. Yeah. It doesn't even make sense.
Superman movies compared, like the Superman and Batman have tons of movies.
You can pick almost any
Wonder Woman.
The Phantom.
How many movies does the Phantom have? 1.
Oh,
was there a sequel?
I hope not. If it was straight to DVD.
I think there may have been. No, maybe no.
No, Billy Zane only suited up.
Billy Zane, okay, he did.
Only suited up once. But still, if you have the same amount of Phantom movies as Wonder Woman movies, you're not in a good spot at all. Because Wonder Woman has always proven to be. Let alone carry her own weight, but be credible and what's the word? Like useful and like a premier character. Like there's a reason they call
good?
That's a very good word.
Yeah.
There's a reason they call it Holy Trinity.
Yeah.
It's 3, and if you're only representing 2 in the big screen, clearly you're not paying attention to what a Trinity means.
Yeah.
So,
and
we're very excited.
We're super, and then considering that the current climate, or I was gonna say DC universe, if that even, I know they hate that.
Yeah, well, they folded their own universe.
Only one of them is one of the Holy Trinity is
still
actually
surviving. Yeah, we'll make
like
it
a
2.
good movie. Yeah, and it's the one that they've been shafting for.
Yeah. So do you want to tell the 3 listeners and that one dude in Czechs what the first Wonder Woman movie was about? A little brief synopsis.
The one in World War One?
Yes. With the crazy theme song that you love.
I do like that. I don't know why.
That guitar. Heavy guitar riff. Yeah, they hit it hard.
It's just she's on the mascara on the Amazon island.
Correct. And played by the lovely Gal Gadot.
Yeah, she's good. Yeah, she's good.
She's striking and strong. And I love her driving cars. Fast and the Furious number, I don't know, 4? 5?
I don't remember. I didn't watch that many Fast and Furious.
I've watched them all. I can't wait for
Hobbs
and Shaw.
I think I watched 2. That was it.
Stop talking about dudes. Okay. We're going to talk about the ladies. Dudes look like ladies. Dudes look like the ladies. That's what I'm thinking of. No.
That's what you're thinking, right? No, and she wants to explore the world. essentially. So she gets
as any sheltered person would.
Yeah,
knowing that there's more out there.
A little bit of cabin fever,
right?
On this island of.
You could have said island fever, and that is more apt metaphor.
Yeah, but cabin. No, it's not.
Island fever? You're on a small piece of land surrounded by ocean.
Cabin fever is a term.
Sure.
Referring to being caged into something.
Okay, cabin boy.
Fuck off. So she wants to explore the world, and she does. She gets out, and adventures ensue.
Yes.
Essentially.
To the degree, because
she gets brought into the war.
Right.
And she cleans house.
She crushes in a skirt.
Yeah.
And boots, and a lasso of justice. But yeah, she ends up kind of sliding into, I guess, the ally side. Because it could have gone wrong very easily for someone that's a fish out of water.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
You'd never really know whose side they're going to pick up. She decided to go with the Americans. Let's give a little credit.
Imagine a Nazi. Or they weren't Nazis then, but imagine a German plane.
Well, it was still like...
World War I wasn't Nazis.
No, but
it was German.
It was pre-Nazi.
Yeah. It was pre...
What was it, more Austrian?
I think so. Japanese. And so,
definitely Japanese.
Imagine one of them had crashed on them instead of Stevie Boy.
Chris Pine.
Yeah.
Could be, which is kind of an issue of Superman that I enjoyed, where he crashes in Russia, and he becomes like.
The alternate one.
Yeah, the what ifs.
Yeah.
This is another character that you could have easily done that for,
yeah.
And it had a whole. I mean, again, if you're putting Wonder Woman on the screen, by all means, do all these weird, crazy new stories. I'm all for seeing different ways of telling the same story. Luckily for this particular movie, she hooks up with the United States, fights alongside with them, falls in love, loses a guy, and then has to deal with her past being
Ares.
Yeah, the daughter of a god. Ares is her
uncle.
Relation.
Yeah.
She has some sort of ties to the god, and in what I don't know if DC has fixed yet. Maybe see Shazam. Their third act, where it just turns into a CGI schlock.
Yeah. That's what DC likes to do.
This movie has it, but this is the best. This is
the best one. Yeah,
the best of the worst. Yeah, with the fighting Ares at the end. So
if you don't like this one, you won't like any of them.
And
not movie, CGI fight.
Yeah, this is the best one
yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Although Aquaman has a good.
Oh, I haven't watched that yet. So
again, you have a podcast about comic books.
Yeah, and I know.
Don't admit these things. Just smile and nod.
I have watched it. Yes, it's got a great CGI.
Just talk about the trench, and then we can make jokes about how they're making
a
movie about
the trench.
Yeah, you'll see. You'll like it. But back to Wonder Woman. This was a great kind of launch for this character. It was fresh at the time because how many years ago now? Let's say 3-4 years ago.
Yep.
Nobody had been doing Wonder Woman, and just to announce that was a huge. Which shouldn't be. It was a huge standing point, a huge hey, check in the right direction, but such an oversight. This should have been on your first rollout when you're like, hey, we're relaunching Batman. Hey, fucking do Wonder Woman, man. Wonder Woman, she has the comic book story, she has the fan base, she has the look, and anytime you put a smart, strong, happens to be good looking woman in front of the screen, I don't see a lot of people saying, I'm not gonna watch this.
Yeah.
How dare I? Why would I watch this?
And then it was good in its own right. So
yes, keep giving people different stories and people to believe in, and obviously little girls and middle-sized girls and older girls. Everyone wants representation on top of the screen. This was long overdue, but I'm glad they did it, and now that they're moving forward with it, even better. So I don't know if you want to jump into stuff you're reading or what we want to do for, because they've announced a sequel.
Wonder Woman. We'll stick with Wonder Woman for now. We'll stick with Diana, and then we'll
jump across.
We'll jump over to
do
Carol
our little
later,
connection because there's a nice little parallel that's going on.
Wonder Woman 1984. So they were jumping significantly far ahead from the first one.
Correct.
Right. So there's no synopsis out just yet that we know
of. There's just I think stills, and there's one shot of just I think she's in front of a whole bunch of different TV screens, so you get a feel of what's on the TV.
Yeah.
But the whole 1984 kind of, anyone that's paid attention to the 80s or come from the 80s, they know exactly what's going on and what kind of feel and scene.
These time, I'm gonna call them timepieces, but their timepieces for the comics are kind of cool right now.
Right.
And
she's the perfect one to do it for because she's lived the longest and kind of unfazed by time.
Yeah.
She gets to live in her own bubble while still that's how she amassed her fortune in Justice League. She becomes a curator for museums. So she's literally been around when art was built, lost, found again, and then she decided to put in a museum. So good for her. Like smart enough to know, like maybe I should pay attention to all these pictures that I'm seeing.
Yeah,
I'm going to need them a little later. And obviously, she has that eye for detail. It makes more sense compared to someone like Bruce Wayne, who's amassed all this fortune and is spending it on Batman. But someone sooner or later, the IRS would be like, "Hey, dude, like." You're using a lot of energy in this fucking...
What are you doing? You gotta grow up? What is this?
No one has discovered that this millionaire and this vigilante have a few things in common that are on fucking paper. She kind of has a nice dip into understanding, hey, like, I've lived this life, so I can kind of talk about the 1920s, the 1930s, the 1940s, the 1950s. So the fact that we're going to the 80s, which is really cool, right? I don't know how much is going to lead in with Justice League, but more so the better. The less that she's associated with what they've tried to build, the better. So I like that they're pulling her, because Justice League, you assume, is taking place during this time.
Yeah. So this is obviously before that. Justice League. She doesn't know anybody.
She's the one person that, I mean, you can say Superman doesn't need a Justice League. She doesn't really need one.
No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. Absolutely not.
True say, Batman doesn't need one either. These are three characters that keep finding ways to be on teams that
don't really need teams. And Batman's not a team player, anyways.
Yeah, he likes to show up and be like, "This is how you get it done." And Wonder Woman's not like that. She's like, "This is how I get it done." So again, great to see her in 1984. Gal Gadot's obviously returning. Chris Pine is returning.
Yeah, which is weird
because he died.
Because he died.
Spoilers. If you know anything about us, we're gonna ruin everything you haven't seen.
Yeah, without even saying spoilers.
But recommend how you should watch the things that we've ruined.
Yeah,
he
absolutely.
dies, but he's back.
And then 60 years later, he's back. There's screenshots of him.
How we don't know. But her villain or her protagonist in this is Cheetah,
which is dope. That's cool, yeah.
But played by
Kristen Wiig,
the awesome Kristen Wiig from SNL fortune and fame.
People were upset about this.
She's got the build though.
But I think it'll be good. Man.
So do I.
I think she'll be great,
especially if they let Kristen Wiig be Kristen Wiig and kind of be sarcastic and funny.
Yeah, this little weird, little offset. Yeah,
especially playing off of Gal Gadot, who still feels, or I should say Diana, Wonder Woman, still kind of playing like a fish out of water. You would assume by 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, I'm bad at math, from the 30s.
About 60 years, yeah.
She's a little more understanding of the world that she's living in, but still, being an Amazon, she's going to have some sort of default to that previous life. And she always goes home too, right? Like, she goes back for Thanksgiving to the islands.
Oh, yeah. She's not like excommunicated.
Right. So I'm very excited to see how they handle that era 80s with these counterparts, these characters. I think it's rich for a lot of things, and if they're smart, they can set up a lot for their inevitable future, and I guess reboot of the Justice League if they're gonna do that. But you can definitely.
You think they're gonna? I don't think they're gonna touch Justice League for a little while. I don't know if that's the best idea. They could just retool Justice League with new members.
When I say touch on Justice League, you're just leaving Easter eggs and opening doors for things that could happen, trickle down somewhere years later, right? So if you're just talking about, hey, there was, I don't know how old Clark's supposed to be, if he's an 80s baby or a 70s baby, but something about like, hey, a comet hit, right? Because I don't know if you're bringing back Cavill, I don't know if you're relaunching Superman. There are different little Easter eggs that you can pay off to the fans in newspapers, on TV channels, on MTV, where you set people up for what can be while you're watching something that is happening. Even if you're paying off herself, because she's obviously has appeared in present time, but now we're taking a look back. So I don't know if they're wiping out what happened in present time, but again, this is one of the comic book movies that I'm very excited to see.
It's true, eh? So they can kind of like just bypass everything that happened in Justice League because it hasn't happened yet.
You can set up,
it's just like
you can set up Flashpoint again in a different way if you want to, because Barry Allen should be. Who's the older Flash? There's Barry Allen and there's Alan.
No.
Steve Allen.
Why can't I think of his fucking name? Wally West, right?
Yeah. So again, you can pay that off with a very small nod of like, oh, there's more people of the Flash that understand the Speed Force.
Well, Speed Force is you can
pay off. I would love if you paid off Green Arrow.
Yep. Yeah.
Because this is kind of a universe that he would fit into.
But who else would you want in the 80s though? Like, because if
Green Arrow, 80s, I want the most cheesiest of superheroes.
Be like super young Green Arrow, or do you want him to be a grizzled old man?
Again, because you're setting up a future, you can pay it off by this queen teach the new queen, right? Like,
right.
and with their TV universe, all that stuff, right? But I'm looking at the complete aesthetic of the 1980s. Green Arrow fits in it. Old school Barry Allen fits in it with the weird discus hat, and Hawkman also fits in this with that whole Amazon. If they ever pay back to the Amazon, he fits into this world of like just like spandex and wings and the song choices that you can imagine hearing him flying into. I hate that we're finding ways to shoehorn men into this women's conversation, but the 80s is such a vibrant, explosive, crazy sound.
So if this one...
that I feel like her property, she can handle these guys the best.
So yeah, so I was going to ask you about a third movie, but
sure.
there's no real sense talking about it just yet. I don't think, because we have no idea what's happening with the 80s one. I was going to say, with the third one, where would you put that? Would you put that present day? But it doesn't,
a third Wonder
really matter. Yeah, because she's got to be their flagship now.
Well,
like, you can't...
So, wait, what was the difference between World War I and 80s? How many years jump was that?
60.
So how much is 60 with the 1980s to...
You would just double 60 again?
What year am I at?
2040?
Yeah, fucking yeah.
2040.
I would jump fucking ahead. Because at that point, you can really rebuild the Justice League how you want to. And nobody gets mad that you have Superboy or Batman Beyond or Zatanna. Like, you can make a complete lineup, and everyone's gonna be like,
can be the new Justice
League,
can
do whatever you want because it's in the future. And then with Flash, you can always reboot or rechange. This is not a future that happens, right? Like with the fun thing about comic books is nothing really sticks and nothing really matters because they always have something to
change
undo it,
to change the status quo, right?
But I would keep with some sort of continuity with her. You keep doing 60s as she keeps appearing in other people's movies because she's the most, I feel, of all the DC characters that they have, she's the one that can kind of pop in on everybody else.
Yeah.
And not steal the spotlight like a Superman would, where it's like, oh, Superman's gonna do it.
But compliment it, yeah.
But like share it and then give them advice and kind of take her own advice with that, and it would be a good team.
Yeah.
As opposed to well, Superman's here to save the day.
So yeah, Superman
Batman just punched me and he's gonna go.
But Batman's a dick too, right? He'll show up and just be a dick. Or if Superman shows up and just does everything.
Right.
And it's
and
like,
I didn't need to do anything.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman's kind of like, what's the situation here?
Yeah.
What do we need to do? Yeah. She's
more analytical. She's not gonna.
And can take the lead too, right?
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Yeah.
If you're dropping in, like, let's say Blue Beetle gets a solo movie, to have a veteran, Wonder Woman would be the one. I would always tap Wonder Woman as the veteran. Green Lantern, she's the veteran. Right?
Yeah.
Because her knowledge is shared, and she's always coming from a place where she's learning.
Actually, it's funny when just to spin off of movies for a second. When we talked about this topic and we were gonna record it and everything, I thought about it. I was like, haven't. We're praising like female superheroes and things, and I haven't really read much of anything that Wonder Woman's done. And I'm like, that's honestly fucked. Like, I know there's a lot of good arcs, and anybody wants to recommend it, like, I'm there to take in.
Yeah, throw in the comments things that you want to read about.
So I took it on myself, and I read a book, Wonder Woman, the I never knew to pronounce this. Hecatia. Yeah. The Hecatia, which was basically a contained story.
Or Hecatia.
No, Hecatia. It's Hecatia.
Hike. Down.
Written by my boy.
As I was spelling it.
What? Oh, no, it's Hecatia.
Hiketeia.
Yeah, Hecatia.
Just so people know what.
Written by Greg Rucka, who actually writes Lazarus.
Okay.
So
nice.
yes, and he's read a couple other things, or written a couple other things that I like. So I was like, okay, this is sweet. It's a contained story, drawn by J.G. Jones, and yeah, it was really dope. I read it. It's from 2002.
Okay.
And basically, Hecatia is it's a binding of people. So the Hecatia is kind of like I give myself to you.
Okay.
Like, I pledge my
loyalty
to you in a way, and you in turn
pledge back.
You protect me.
Okay.
Until I release you. That's the whole. That's what Hecatia is. So it's like a ceremony.
If you save me from death, or it's just I'm pledging to you.
I'm pledging. I need some protection, but I'm basically yours to command, but you protect me.
Are you avoiding saying slave by chance?
It is kind. It's because they're not really slaves though. Because it's.
Oh, he said slaves.
No, it's anyway, so
Social justice warriors, assemble!
so in this book, where it's I know it's not really an arc analysis episode, but to give a quick rundown of this book,
which is great.
Which is actually very good. There's a girl who pledges to Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Randomly, she just shows up to her and does this thing to her, and Wonder Woman goes, "Okay, I'll accept you," because she goes, "You've studied the Greek, like, processes and
The
procedures and the ways of our people, so I accept." And she goes, "You don't even want to know why?" She goes, "Doesn't matter why."
Yeah.
And so I've accepted, and now you're mine. So she has to bring her in. Wonder Woman has to bring her in. Diana has to bring her in. Sorry, and like make sure she's comfortable.
Did she pledge it to Diana or did she?
Yeah,
pledge
no,
to
she
Wonder
pledged to Wonder Woman. Same,
Okay.
it doesn't matter. And she says to bring her in, like give her top notch care and stuff, and feed her and things like that.
Right.
But then in return, she's got to spend the whole day with Diana and kind of be her secretary.
Okay.
Right. Little does she know that the girl that just kind of gave herself to Diana is on the run because for like serial murders. Yeah.
Nice.
And guess who's chasing her? She killed a couple guys in Gotham, so Batman's after her.
Oh, right on.
So that's the whole story. So the story is Batman's chasing this girl who's killed a bunch of guys. You find out why she killed them.
Okay.
And there's actually reasons for it. And then Wonder Woman's...
No spoils for this.
No, I'm not. And Wonder Woman has to protect her.
Nice.
Against Batman, basically.
Which is a good matchup.
It's really cool because they know each other, right? It's like he's like, Diana. She's
give me the girl.
like,
yeah, she's a murderer.
So
they're both bound by code.
Exactly. So it's Diana's like, do I err the side of justice or the side of ceremony and people, right? So it's a cool story. It's actually it was over before I even knew it. So it's not that long of a book, and they could have done a whole lot more with it.
Right.
But it's satisfying.
How many bottle caps you gonna give it?
I give it 3 out of 5.
Nice.
3 out of 5 bottle caps for a nice contained story, nice Wonder Woman story. And it really shows, what's interesting is...
Shows her character.
It shows her character, like her honor too, her honor code,
and how much Batman...
Her values. Yeah, and is there any more two stubborn people?
Yeah.
Batman versus, like, Bruce versus Diana. Like, they're both set in their ways.
On the opposite side of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Which makes sense why Superman has to be in the middle for this trip.
Yeah. Now, in a fight, Diana would...
Body him.
Dummy him, right?
Body him.
Because they're friends already.
She pulls punches. Yeah, she got it.
She pulls punches.
And she's bound by a code of Justice League, right? Like,
yeah, he's like, he's my friend.
So she's definitely conflicted. Oh, this is a very internal, very mental situation.
And even Batman's like, you don't even know this girl. Like, he's like, tell her what you did. Tell Wonder Woman what you did. And she's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is ceremony. Code, yeah. It's I am who I am now, and that's it. Yeah. So it was actually very fun. It was very cool. After this story, it was so well received.
Right.
That they gave RoccoW the ongoing privileges to run. So he actually has a big run that I'm going to dive into when I get the chance. Right. I'm going to dive into next because based on the story. So yeah, it's cool. If you haven't read the Hecate, check it out. I said it quick that time.
Yeah, just run it out. Just one word. Don't phonetic.
When I first thought, I was like the Hikashia? Before, the first time.
Now, my question is, based on what you've read, do you feel that the previous movie has any of these type of internal moralities with the character? Or is there something that you can kind of enter in the new movie in the sequel? Or any
there is because
she's gonna be in.
The difference between this book and the first movie she's more naive, right? She's more kind of like new to the world.
Right.
In this one, she's a pro. She's part of the Justice League. She knows what's going on. Even when the girl helps her out, she's like, okay, what do we got to do today? She's like, oh, we got to go to the school to educate kids on this. Nice. Then we have a press conference with the States of the Union, and then we got to do over this, and then Justice League will probably interrupt us somewhere around between this time and this time.
That's half the excitement for
cool, man.
1984 because she's gonna be a seasoned pro after 60 years.
Exactly, yeah.
She's been doing it 60 years. Yeah. She knows her shit, right? So like a confident Wonder Woman is the best Wonder Woman.
Oh, she's great. Yeah.
Because she pulls off heels and a skirt.
But you could see that.
It's not sexist.
When
she chose that outfit.
When Batman shows up, she doesn't. Like, there's obviously a bit of an internal conflict,
right?
But it's never close.
Bend.
No, she doesn't bend. But you can see she's like,
Like, oh,
Fuck, I don't want to do this.
You're looking for? Oh well, let's have this talk.
That's
now.
all right
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
Like, Bruce, you got to go away. And he's like, no, I'm not going away. It's just justice.
Yeah.
Where is she? Where is she?
Rachel! Everyone should be named Rachel in Batman's universe.
But yeah, so that was cool. So yeah, I'm gonna jump on that. The ongoing from RoccoW after this.
So this happens to be one of the bright lights in DC's kind of, we got to say universe because we don't know how else to call it, because you guys don't know what you're calling
The movie
it.
universe, yeah, the DCEU,
whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
This is kind of where you want to put your meat and potatoes on. I know you guys feel really confident about Aquaman and the
Shazam?
the Trench.
Oh, the Trench.
And how you're doing that spin-off sequel. Fine, that's great. And how Shazam is kind of being renowned as a great back to comic book movie. It is. It was. I really enjoyed it. Check out the bottle episode after Coke watches it.
Yeah.
But Wonder Woman is actually your meat and potatoes. She is the Batman that you've been struggling to put on the screen, and the Superman that you can't find a reason to put on screen. She's the one that you should be investing all your dollars in, making sure that her stories and what she's doing is leading everything else that's following. Batman and Superman can kind of literally pop up at any point, and everyone's gonna pay fan service to them. You've already started doing something right with Deanna, so just keep on keeping on, right?
Yep.
Which brings us to another
The
property,
Marvel
the
counterpoint.
other side.
Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel.
Yeah, before we get there, Marvel, in our minds, has done a lot of good. But this is something that they've really missed the ball, too. Not as much as DC, because DC's been fumbling with the football since they decided that they wanted to be in movies to this level. Marvel had built a 10-year universe.
Yep.
And in 10 years, it took you this long to decide, hey, we have a female superheroine that we want to put in front of the screen. And all other incarnations of women in their universe have either been a love interest, or a secondary character, who people have been clamoring to see more of. And I'm including Black Widow, I'm including Scarlet Witch, I'm including Wasp.
Now the Wasp now too. Yeah,
I'm including every woman in Black Panther, because I want to see every other woman in Black Panther, maybe more than Black Panther. But the fact that it took you 10 years, because you built this entire universe, and you get accolades, and like fans love everything you've done, but this is definitely an oversight. The fact that you could assemble, like, Gamora, I want to see more of. I didn't even get to say her name. You could assemble 6, 7 superheroes, and they're all male leads, and you couldn't find one movie slotted. Like, we didn't need Thor 2.
Here's the funny thing.
You could have given it to any woman, and I've been all for seeing that.
Here's the funny thing. You can make the argument that they had the phases planned out ahead of time, and which is true, so that's fine. So it was all set.
To an extent.
But the Captain Marvel movie is set in the 90s, so it's still a timepiece. You can release that anywhere.
Any time. You could have started. You could literally started with her,
and it doesn't interfere with anything that's going on.
And given your movie climate, you've constantly changed that. Because I remember we were supposed to get an Inhumans movie, and it turned into a TV show. I remember
that's right. Yeah,
Doctor Strange was supposed to be slated earlier, and it ended up being pushed back. Volume 3,
that's right,
we didn't even know it was going to come, and now it's coming again. So you can make as many excuses as you want, but the fact it took you 10 years to put a woman in her own solo movie in the front of the screen is...
Yeah, it's a little...
sad, unbelievable, unthinkable. Like, you know what you're doing. Clearly, you have women in your universe. It's not Star Wars. It's not just Princess Leia out there, right?
Yeah. What do you think of the movie?
It was good.
You liked it, right? Yeah, it was good.
It's good. I enjoyed it more as a starting piece for, like, I look at it as groundwork set up, because it's obviously taking place in the 90s. Do you want to tell the 7 listeners what the movie was?
Fuck, we got 3 more today?
The checklist, the
4 more?
The Czech dude told another Czech dude. And it's a domino effect. But yeah, tell the peoples what Captain Marvel was about.
It is an origin story. It's a movie with an origin story in it.
Correct.
She's out on the Kree home planet, and she, how do I say this? She gets lost on Earth. She's
working with the Kree. Yeah. She's trained by the Kree, and all she knows is the Kree. Even though she doesn't really look like the Kree, this is the world that she's lived in.
But some Kree look like humans.
Yeah,
right.
Well, yellow eyes.
Right. Okay, fair.
Yanrog's got and blue blood.
Yeah, and blue blood. Yeah, they bleed blue.
But to her mind, she's been Kree. She's Kree. I learned Kree. I fight with Kree. So she goes out with the Kree team on a, I guess,
mission.
Recovery mission. They're gonna go pick up a spy because she understands the Skrull War, the Skrull Kree War.
Yeah.
And she's fighting for the Skrulls. Obviously, she signed up for it. And to her knowledge, Skrulls are horrible and trying to destroy all Kree life. She goes on a recon mission to pick up what would be operative agent who was supposed to be behind Skrull lines.
Yeah.
Trouble ensues.
And she ends up on Earth.
C-34? C something.
C something or other. She ends up on Earth, meets a young Nick Fury.
Right.
And they saddle up together.
To try and figure out how she got there and why she got there and essentially who she is. Because
and why are these damn dirty Skrulls on this planet?
You wanted to say apes, didn't you? So it turns into kind of a sleuthing mission.
Yeah.
And at this point in time, she is definitely the second best, greatest detective on Earth next to Nick Fury, who does that crazy tape thing.
That's right. Yeah.
Shots fired at Batman. I would give it to John Jones, but I don't know if you're
John
alive.
Jones?
I don't know if you're alive in the 90s, to be honest with you. Come as you are.
He's a Martian. He's probably still alive.
Heart-shaped box.
Oh, he's just fist pumping with all these Nirvana references and
Smells
90s.
Like Teen Spirit. I didn't want to go there. It's too easy to go there. Damn.
It's all right.
Rate me.
You did.
Rate me.
No.
This is a rough
this
episode to throw that. Yeah,
This took a turn.
Rough episode to throw that song. Good song.
But yeah, and
I broke Coke.
Okay, yeah.
I broke Coke. So they start trying to piece back what's going on, and she
discovers things about herself
and the Air Force, like Project Pegasus. So they go to this classified place and they find more things. Meanwhile, while all this is going on, Skrulls have also landed on Earth and now are on a mission to find her because they know that there's something up with this specific Kree. She may not be Kree. More troubles ensues, and then we kind of find out
about her. We find out about the Kree. We find out about the Skrulls. We find out about
Shield,
yeah.
So again, I enjoy this movie as groundwork laid because you've spent 10 years building a landscape. You haven't any background you've given me has been good enough, but this sets you up to do amazing things that may not have happened, could happen, potentially happen, but more than anything, leave you with a hero that you're going to need given what's going on right now in the universe, which is Thanos. And
they also left it, the way they leave the movie off, they kind of left it the way similar to what they did with Wonder Woman, where she can jump all this different time, right? Because the first movie took place in the 20s. Excuse me.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Wonder Woman did, yeah. So she's got all this time span between then and Justice League. With Captain Marvel, she stays in space at the end.
Right.
So she's up flying around galaxies.
She's definitely not aging the same way that everybody else
No, in the 90s, so you've got 20-something years there.
Where she's just been learning, becoming stronger, experienced, confident in who she is and her powers.
And you can make movies, like solo movies for her, anywhere in the
jump
universe almost, right?
Yeah,
like she's all through galaxies and shit.
You can do Captain Marvel 1994.
Yeah.
I think she landed in 1994.
Yeah, 2002.
2004. No, stick with the fours. I like the fours.
4.
Yeah, fours was a good year. 50 Cent was big.
Yeah, he was, wasn't
he? Marvel unit. So I liked it as groundworking. It wasn't my favorite Marvel movie.
No, but
I liked a lot of pieces around it. So
right, yeah.
Ben Hiddleston.
Great.
Middleston as the Skrull.
Talos.
I fucking enjoyed de-aging on Samuel Jackson. Looked the best I've ever seen de-aging worked, and Marvel has been consistent with, we like this, we're gonna keep using it.
Yep.
And now you guys
they're mastering it now.
I mean, his age shows when he tries to fight because he's moving like a 70-year-old.
Yeah,
right? Those punches he's done are very geriatric.
Yeah.
But him and Coulson look fresh out of the 90s.
Yeah, they look good.
I definitely enjoyed the side character. I can't remember the co-pilot's name and her daughter. I like that dynamic that they have there.
Monica Rambeau. So the kid.
Rambeau, yeah.
The kid ends up becoming like
another Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And
Captain Universe.
If you put where we at 20 years on that, she would be of the age to take on a mantle
So
if she needs to. So again, with
keep
groundwork,
6 for Endgame.
there you go.
Right, Monica Rambeau.
Well, we already seen Endgame. Everybody dies except for Hulk. That's the one I'm predicting that stays alive. That's another episode. And then I even like Annette Bening as the Supreme Intelligence.
Yeah,
she's good. Very small cameo, but what she did, I very much enjoyed. And I liked all the Kree assholes. I like Yanrog, Jude Law. I like Digimon Hunsun as returning his role.
Yeah.
I liked all the. I can't remember the female.
Oh, Minerva.
Minerva was great. Like she's an
good.
asshole, and then they have a nice little trade off when they're dropping quips. So I really liked all the secondary characters that they built in here. I didn't get as much as I wanted to from Miss Marvel, but I'm hoping that Endgame really gets me to see how confident and strong she is. This one was kind of a coming of age, or just like who I really am. There's a lot of moments of like, let me stand up in my own 2 feet and let me finally embrace what I am and what I can become. But other than that, solid movie. It just sucks that it took you 10 years to give us
it's a little rough.
This character, right?
Now you read something
I did
for Captain Marvel, right?
I did,
just like I did with Wonder Woman.
And I read something that's kind of related to what I hope inevitably happens. I read The Secret Invasion by Reed and Mello. I should learn first names, but I didn't. So this is I don't know how in depth you are with comic books. There was a huge comic book arc that was called Secret Invasion.
Yeah, an event.
That spanned as many comic book titles as were available
in Marvel.
On Marvel. And the whole premise was Skrulls were now invading Earth, but you didn't know who was a Skrull and who was the actual person.
So they had already invaded, right? So some
they were
heroes,
there. There's a lot of sleeper agents, and the whole, not the joke, the whole mystery was certain Marvel characters were now walking through different comic books and series trying to figure out who was real, who was fake, what was the whole purpose.
One of the better Marvel events.
One of my personal favorites.
Yeah, one of the better ones.
This one was great because it gets Carol. It already starts off with Iron Man because this one kind of jumps in the middle. Like
it's basically her story within the event, right? Within the event.
So like it's all happening. Let's assume within the same month. This is what's going on in her life during this month. So she gets to meet up. She's off flying doing a mission, and then Tony Stark is Iron Man doing his thing at S.H.I.E.L.D. and he somehow picked up a camera where he knows that the actual Miss Marvel is off on a mission where he sees a Carol Danvers walking day to day, and he's trying to figure out, okay, wait a minute, one of them's a Skrull. He sends S.H.I.E.L.D. troops to go capture one of them, and how much can I say without spoiling things? There's a face-off between 2 Miss Marvels, which is amazing, especially for character arc. The way that this book is written, there's a lot of inner monologue and her talking about what's going on and how she's dealing with what's happening. There's a lot of reference to what's it called? It's S.H.I.E.L.D. and she has her own clique called.
Is it kind of this? Does it give you a sense that it's kind of like her against the world type thing? Is that yeah?
So she has her own clique. I can't remember. It's like the Lightning Bolt Initiative. I can't remember the name of it. It sucks that I can't think of it now. But Machine Man's on her team. Supposedly on. Sleepwalker's on her team, and Agent Sun is on her team. So she's trying to convince them that she's the one that's been calling the shots for the whole time, while they're still trying to figure out which Miss Marvel is the
real.
Meanwhile, an invasion is starting to happen and unfold. So she's definitely wearing. Wonder Man's in this too. She's definitely wearing a lot of hats, and a lot of things are just fucking up in her hands. So you can see her wearing that leadership hat. And definitely watching things fall that she can't carry. And then it gets to a certain point where it's just like an all-out raid of Skrulls, and her's just fucking up shit in Manhattan. That was like the best part of the book.
Yeah.
It's great. And it ends in a fun way, too, because it builds to, obviously, the ending of the whole arc. You don't get it in this book, but you know that you want to keep reading.
How does this stack up to the movie? Like the question you asked me with Wonder Woman, how does this Carol stack up to the one in the movie? Are they similar? Like, do they have the same?
So this is definitely, and this is Miss Marvel that's still in the Warbird costume. So she's,
right, it's the old costume.
She's got the one suit and the lightning bolts.
She's not even Captain Marvel yet. She's Miss Marvel.
She's
still.
Miss Marvel, correct.
This is what 08? 08-ish, I think.
Yeah, around that time. so the comic book version, she's more confident. She understands herself. She already understands Shield and her place in it, and Tony Stark's. So she knows the world that she's living in. Compared to the movie one, where she didn't even know that Earth existed, let alone that she's from Earth.
That's right. Yeah.
I would love them to pick up pieces from this comic book arc because it's so heavily ingrained in Skrulls and how they're now a part of Earth, and how I like how the movie set up that there are good Skrulls.
Yeah.
And that because their planet has been destroyed, they've been scattered all over, so we don't even know where they are. That's a perfect jumping point to start an invasion. You just need one Super Skrull to be like, you know what? Let's just take Earth as ours. So I like the fact that in this book, she's a leader, but she definitely has moments where she doesn't know what to do next, and she takes a lot of gambles
It's almost
in her
like
personal life.
one of like her first forays into being a leader, right?
Yeah. And like she makes choices because, spoiler not spoiler, someone close to her bites the bullet not by her hand, and then someone close to her bites the bullet by her hand. So she's dealing with the repercussions of that constantly while still trying to body all these Skrulls that are.
Oh, Super Skrulls in this too, right? Okay, sick.
So it gets deep. The last 2 books just turn into her fucking up all the Skrulls in Manhattan, and it's amazing.
So it's good. You get a good taste of how powerful she is.
And you
she's
get
a
a taste
beast.
of what the Skrulls had to do to just get on her level, let alone the Avengers level, right? They had to amalgamate a lot of powers to be one Skrull. Like you have an X-Men Skrull who has Cyclops power, Colossus power, Wolverine's power to fight. And then you have like Iceman's power. Then you have one that's like Thor matched with the Thing. Like they in order for them to successfully take over, they had to pick all these best superheroes and merge them together to even have an edge.
Just to throw down with her, right?
Yeah, and it's just good. Yeah, it's good. It's everything you want, right? You get the internal conflict of what it is to be a hero, the identity problems of what it would be like if you lost someone that you loved, and then you lost them by your own hands because you can't tell who's real from fake, and then you get her just being a fucking badass, which she is. Yeah. So I didn't get that as much. I got that in the 3rd act of the movie. That was my favorite part. The 3rd act of the movie is just her
when
like,
she's tough. Yeah.
Fuck it, I'm gonna do it my way, right? Like when she goes. Talking about Captain Marvel the movie, when she flies into space and like has the nice
she takes on the spaceships or whatever.
Yeah, that was a great scene. I enjoyed that. There's a lot more of that on a local level where she's just fucking up Skrulls in this comic book. So that's what I would want in the future. I want her more confident and more powerful, and she knows there's a moment where she has to, because Skrulls can obviously shapeshift.
Yeah.
They start shapeshifting into human, and the crowd start building, so she can't tell who's real from fake. So she's smart enough to know, hey, if I send out this small seismic beam, it won't hurt Skrulls, but it'll knock down all the humans. So she waves it down, and all these humans fall down. They're like, hey man, what are you doing? But Skrull stands strong.
Yeah.
And then she starts bodying the Skrulls.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So the fact that she understands herself.
She's nice and grizzled. Seasoned.
She's a vet, and she knows how to deal with intruders was really good. And the fact that I really love Secret Invasion, right?
Yeah, so it's right up your alley.
So I'm hoping they pull a lot from this event, because this, for me, is the next. Well, I want it to be the next natural
step
for the
event.
Yeah, for the Marvel Universe. I mean, you're rebuilding everything, fine.
Right.
But just to leave a little.
Look at taste.
You could spend 10 years and on one movie give me just a little seed of doubt of like, are you actually who you say you are? And because you spent this movie saying, hey, in the 90s, we know that Skrulls have already touched down on Earth. They could still be here for whatever reason. I'm all in.
Well, the one thing is they're in the universe now. Yes. Like they're there, they're established.
Which took long.
They exist.
That took 10
a long
years.
time. Yeah. Because the Kree have been in Age of S.H.I.E.L.D. already. Like the Kree have been there.
Okay.
Like they have a whole arcs with Kree and stuff.
Right.
Like in the first season they have, this one artifact, quote unquote, they have is half a Kree body. That's the first season of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay, nice.
Right? So Kree have been around.
But now you have the best Kree.
Now you have the best Kree,
which is
and you have
Captain Marvel, and then you have
Kree Skrull invasion,
which is looming, right?
Yeah. Or sorry, not the invasion, the Kree Skrull wars.
War, yeah. So it's exciting time. I think it's long overdue, but I'm really pulling for Captain Marvel to be the shining light in Endgame.
So they're doing justification in Wonder Woman now. They're doing justification for Captain Marvel.
We hope.
But there's a ton of other female
that you
heroes
haven't, that you haven't been justified and justified.
The biggest one is, in my opinion, right now, considering the movies, is Black Widow.
Right.
She hasn't got a solo movie. She's been there since Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
She is getting a solo movie now.
She was more S.H.I.E.L.D. than Nick Fury, essentially. Because she was doing more stealth and missions and operations and stuff like that.
Since Iron Man 2, so she's been around since 2009.
But technically, she started out as a secretary. Like, people want to forget. She just played Tony Stark's secretary. Before we were like, no, she's Widow.
Yeah.
And people had to peel back and be like, yo, she's supposed to be a badass, right?
Yeah.
We didn't get her to be a badass until Avengers and what's the second one? Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier, yeah.
Yeah, which was amazing, right? Like,
she was great, though.
You get to see her espionage, and she was great as a teammate. But she definitely needs a solo.
She's getting one, so they say. So she's getting one, which is finally about fucking time.
On the other side of the coin, if you're talking about strong females that have mutant powers, I'm talking Wanda Maximoff.
Yep.
Scarlet Witch. You finally introduced her into the universe. That took long enough. You now have X-Men back, so she's a mutant. So now you can play up the fact that she's probably the strongest, if not one of the top 5 strongest mutants in this world.
Yeah.
You can, if you really want to start playing gambles, you can play the whole Elsa Em.
They have the Fox characters going out, so
you have them all back. So that's a very, I don't know if it's easy, but that's another way that you can reboot the X-Men again. If you
absolutely.
Take in House of M.
She could, like, you could have it House of M reverse, where she actually creates mutants. Right? Like, she goes, you know what? There's getting mutants now, or some sort of.
Yeah, they haven't.
Boom! Mutants are in the universe, right?
You took away her brother, so there's obviously
incentive.
Yeah, and then just like pain. Like anytime you give Wanda some sort of pain, she latches onto it. You took away Vision, so she's definitely dealing with that pain. We don't know how that's going to manifest in Endgame yet, but she's a strong mutant that you have to pay attention to. She definitely deserves a stronger role. I don't know if she can get her own movie, but she's a female role that you have and you need to now capitalize on.
Yeah, she's big. One that I really want to see now, because I really like her rendition, or her showing of it, is the Wasp. If we're sticking with Marvel right now,
and she was definitely the shining light in the first movie.
Yeah.
She was like, if not funnier and more productive than Ant-Man. Ant-Man was the bumbling fool just trying to learn.
And the second one, she runs
shit.
Great,
yeah,
man.
she runs shit in the second one, and she got a fucking crazy ass suit. And in her own skin is one of the original Avengers. So the fact that it took you this long to even include her, she's not even included yet. We don't know where she is in the world.
From the comics.
I don't know. I can't remember if she's dead in the poster. I don't know if she even got her own poster.
Well, she got no. Ooh, you're right. I don't know if she did either. She got vaporized, and people just kind of go, whatever.
Yeah. So Ant-Man has his own side story. We don't know what her story is, but if she's included, she's definitely going to be a worthy adversary to work with and watch out for. Another one that we've seen, so another pick that I'd love to see again, we've seen, but never really seen to her justice. Funny enough that we haven't seen her, being that she's the Invisible Woman, Sue Storm.
Sue Richards, yeah.
Sue Storm Richards. She doesn't like the hype.
Who, by the way, I know you're talking about, I'm going to just steal it for a second. It was just announced she's going to get her first solo on-running series.
Good for her.
Which is pretty cool, yeah.
Took a long time, too.
Really long time.
Good lord.
Well, Fantastic Four. So because they've got Fox back now, they're going to start publishing...
They're bringing that back? That's a whole episode in itself. That was hilarious when they sold it off. Like, we're not going to do... Marvel's like, we're not going to print out any more Fantastic Four.
They didn't really come and say that, but they just stopped production on a lot of X-Men. Not like... They stopped production on the Fantastic Four books.
Hard stop. They still kept producing X-Men, but not
X-Men,
to the same
but it was like low
level, and not to the same amount.
Well, now Sue's getting her own book, which is
good for her.
Which is dope. I'm not sure who's writing it, but that's pretty cool.
And she's an easy one to introduce into the world of Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah.
She's a smart. Well, not she can. I don't want to say smarter than Reed, but she has intellect to read, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
As strong as the Thing when she understands her power set. And she's a wild card like her brother Johnny, right? So you can introduce her as just a character.
I feel like she's the most relatable out of the four of them. If you're talking about Fantastic Four, like like you're saying, she's the most easy. She's the easiest to talk to. She's easy to take along with.
I think she has pieces of everybody.
Yeah,
and that makes her kind of the best. And the fact that she's a defensive superhero is more likely that you can see her assisting or helping out with somebody else, as opposed to like Human Torch, which is like, oh, I'm all on fire.
Offense.
It's like,
Yeah.
you're super offense. It's like, do I need you? You can kind of bump into Sue, and she can. I think you can break into the world of with the Baxter Building with her more than anybody else, or the Thing. If you just bump into the Thing and it's clobbering time.
Yeah. On the DC side of things, I know both of us were talking before. Are probably number one there.
Better say it right.
Zatanna.
Yeah, I say Zatanna.
Zatanna is.
I'm just glad you said it.
That's who we want. She's I know
the best.
There's other more popular female characters in DC.
We love her the best,
and we hope they get their shine too. But she's underrated.
Very much so, and she gets to open doors for magic in your universe, and magic is definitely a hat worth hanging.
Well, Doctor Strange is successful, so
I'm just that's Marvel.
No, I know
Marvel's broken in magic.
But I'm just saying,
about opening the door.
Just in general.
Yeah,
the Marvel fan base, the movie fan base are buying into the magic, no problem. So don't be shy about. Oh, they might like just bring it.
But on DC side, you have Dr. Fate, you have Swamp Thing.
Yeah, you got tons.
Dark Avenger, like all that is
Constantine.
That's built in magic, and I feel like Zatanna is the best one to open that
world. They have way better magic characters than Marvel does.
Yes, they do.
Way better.
I would love to see Black Canary because I feel she's just a fighter and a soldier. Especially if you're redoing a Justice League, she's always proven an ally and one of the leaders and trainers to help assist those coming up and in.
Now she has gotten shine in the Arrow
TV show
CW series,
right?
That's not good enough. You've
movie
got
or bust,
yeah,
and she's got a bust for movies.
And then hey,
that was forced though.
And then the more obvious ones, obviously Supergirl, Batgirl.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Which Batgirl do you want to see? Batwoman, Batgirl, the Robin that was female.
Carrie Kelly? No, Barbara Gordon. She had a run. I never read it, but there was a big run a few years ago during the New 52.
Okay.
And they kind of reimagined her as like a hipster type.
Okay. You're sorry,
young
she's
girl.
a hipster?
I'm sorry using the term hipster. If I'm gonna, someone who read it's probably gonna be like, she's not a hipster. I didn't read it, but that's what the covers kind of portrayed.
Fair enough.
And I know the reception of it was huge. Okay. People loved it. So if you can create her own character like that as a spin-off from Batman. She doesn't have to be Batman's sidekick first and foremost.
I think we overspoke too, because Harley Quinn, Batgirl, and they're not doing Birds of Prey, but they are doing
they're doing Birds of Prey.
Is it Is that the movie that they announced that they are doing?
I thought Batgirl's in it though. I thought it was.
It's Harley Quinn for sure.
Yeah.
Because they can't get enough of
they love
Margot Robbie.
Plugging her everywhere.
Well, hold time out.
Who doesn't like plugging her?
There you go. That's the image I got, because that's. Sorry, I had to fix my erection. You said
took you that long to find it.
Listen, hey,
Poison Ivy.
Hey, this is a children's podcast. Let them know that I'm long and strong, and they call me Ding Dong. Danky Kong. Danky
Kang. The point we're getting at is there's fucking tons of female characters that
everybody
both
from Black
sides can use.
Everybody from Black Panther, which we didn't talk. That's
you're right.
Not
Shuri,
male.
yeah.
Shuri.
What's
the soldier group name? Damn it.
Dora Milaje.
They're all amazing. Like I want them.
Did I say that right? I did say that right. Dora Milaje.
They'll let you know. They're already mad about you saying I have a small dick and
nobody's mad about that.
I'm mad now. And you calling a Batwoman a hipster. So
I didn't know it was Batgirl.
You can reach Coke at CodeNet.
Batwoman's another one though. We didn't even mention her.
Yeah.
Like fuck, man.
We kind of threw it in there.
No, you just did now.
Fair enough.
But it was wrong pretense, like.
and this is just the heroine side. The female
villains
are just as engaging and dynamic, and I said dynamic, but I meant and I don't know what I meant.
We also didn't mention She-Hulk. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff we didn't.
Elektra. Psylocke. I mean, X-Men has always given us women, but I don't think they've ever been able to hold a candle to their comic book counterpart.
Nope.
I don't think Jean Grey has ever been justice. Storm's never been justice. Nope. We've gotten 3 Jubilees, and I yet to hear them say any line of dialogue.
3 Jubilees?
Yes, we've had 3 Jubilees, sir.
I didn't even know.
Lady Deathstrike was okay, but
she was casted well. But
we love Kelly Hu.
Yes.
Kelly Hu. But again, there are women everywhere. We just want to see them, and this is coming from men. So the fact that we're saying it is pointless because women should be saying this. Women are saying this. Women have been saying this. The comic book is equal representation. For as many men, villains, and heroes you want to find, you can always find a woman or a female heroine that has fucked over a lot of dudes who succumb to Poison Ivy's kiss.
And I will say this while
we're see a better Poison Ivy, man.
Since we're on this topic too, and I want to squeeze this in here.
We're still talking about Margot Robbie and squeezing things in her.
Yeah.
It's hard to be a feminist when you have.
It is,
like yeah. I mean, I'm all for her letting me squeeze things into her. Didn't I even it out?
I can't even say what I'm trying to say now.
I know. I don't want you to.
No, Agent Carter. Before we leave, was a really fun show. And it got canceled.
Yeah, didn't get the.
Which is unfortunate. That would be cool to see come back in some shape or form, even with like a mini. Like a mini movie or something.
I hope Gamora survives death.
Oh, yeah.
She was amazing. She definitely held her own in both Guardian of the Galaxy movies. And then they keep introducing more strong female characters in that. It sucks that Glenn Close exploded because she was on that planet that apparently
got fried. Yeah.
But again, you keep finding ways. Again, because the crazy thing about Marvel is, as much as they're now starting to introduce these young female leads, they've always had established actors in the female roles for a lot of their movies. So Glenn Close has been attached. Annette Bening for now Captain Marvel has been attached. What can I think of at the top of my head? Gwyneth Paltrow. She's not old, but she's established. And we never got a Rescue.
No, we never got Rescue.
I thought we were going to get Rescue. Like, no. Give her a suit. The dude has so many suits. Give her a goddamn suit. Yeah. Her suit doesn't even have like projection.
They got the tease at the end of Iron Man 3, right?
How hard is it to give it? Jessica Jones, we got a TV show of. That was good. Unfortunately, it's canceled, but hopefully it's coming back. We don't know.
We'll see in a couple years.
And here's the thing. Disney's announcing all these team-up movies.
Daughters of the Dragon?
That would be... Oh, my God. We didn't even talk about Daughters of the Dragon. So the landscape's full of characters that happen to be female. They happen to be female, but they're just as engaging and inviting, and we want to hear these stories because we've read these stories. And they're fucking good, man. I'm surprised we didn't say She-Hulk.
I know.
Like bagging off for She-Hulk. There's female Thor. There's female Ghost Rider. There's equivalents to everything. I wouldn't mind seeing Sith because I don't know if Sith is dead.
Oh, Lady Sith.
Yeah.
I don't know if she
Enchantress would be great in Thor's universe. Helena. So going back to these established female actors that they got what's her name? Cate Blanchett to play her. Like they shell out the big bucks when they go for the established. I don't want to say elderly. So I'll say established again.
Yeah, just say established.
I'll say established again. Actors. They really go for these actors that you know and you've seen before. Just keep telling those stories. Expand. Give us more of those stories. Give us more of those characters. Don't kill them off automatically, right? I want to see Annette Bening as the Supreme Intelligence again. Because she's not dead.
No. She's Supreme Intelligence, man. She's still rolling.
Well, it helps if one of us has Supreme Intelligence. It happens to be a girl. But,
Yeah, it is what it is, man. I just hope somebody cares. In this segment, we rank the top 9 worst bananas. Yeah, bananas and pajamas. We rank the top worst. You know what we do. We rank the top
power rankings.
That's where we're at.
This is getting nominated for one of our best intros.
And today, we're talking about the most overrated movies of the 2000s. Primarily before 2010. Between 2000 and 2010.
Yeah, that's what the 2000s are.
Not the 2010s.
Why do you explain things that are very obvious to people that are listening?
Because people are stupid.
Our people are stupid?
No, not our people. Our people are geniuses. But people in general are stupid.
So general people are listening to this, or our people are listening
to this? No, but maybe generals are walking by, and I'm just going, nya.
Like actual generals are walking by, and you're saying, nya?
Yes.
Do you remember to salute
military
first?
No. If I'm saying, I'm not going to salute and then go, nya.
Why? That's kind of the whole joke, though.
That's immature.
Have you listened to what we talk
about? So this is number 1 here, and that's number 9 there.
And which direction do we go, sir?
We go 1 to 9.
Okay. Number 1.
I can't wait to say this.
Why?
Harry Potter. Because I hate it.
You've never seen them.
I watched the first one and fell asleep. The first movie I've ever fallen asleep to was the fucking first Harry Potter back like when I was a teenager. I've never fallen asleep throughout a movie before until that movie. That movie did me in.
It gets better.
In that movie or in the series?
No, in the series. That movie's
shit.
I mean, you gotta start somewhere.
Not there.
Yeah, moving on.
Number 2. Transformers.
This is which one?
Michael Bay.
Which one? He's done, like, at this point, 12.
No, the first one. This is the first one because it's an 07, right? The first one's 07.
So Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
This was definitely overrated.
Megan Fox.
This was not the 1985 amazing animated one.
No.
This was not Bumblebee, which is a good soft reboot.
I have to admit, though, when I first saw this movie, I thought it was wild. I was like, this is crazy.
But at the time, this was, hey, I'm going to pay attention to this.
Yeah.
But in retrospect, there's a lot of hype, which seems to be Michael Bay's. A lot of explosions.
Yeah.
A lot of loud sounds.
Yeah.
A lot of super focus, so I can't actually see what's happening when the Transformers are transforming. And no sound, which, if you're a Transformer fan, Number 3.
Matrix Reloaded.
Good lord. Here's the thing about Matrix.
Okay, you got...
It was amazing.
First Matrix was, it was crazy.
Keep in mind,
99.
A lot of lawsuits have come forth, and it looks like the Wachowski brothers didn't actually write a lot of that movie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And what they did write was taken from a lot of other movies. So, by that definition, it's a really good movie when put together, right? If you're stealing the best from everything else, what you eventually give to the public is going to be pretty good. Matrix 2 and 3 did not have anything related to the first one, and they didn't even steal anything good to make it something redeemable.
They were just trying to. They were just riding the coattails of the first one.
And trying new things with, I guess, CGI and like the technology, but there was no story. And I don't know what was going on with Zion. And then Neo became like Superman, I guess.
Machines!
That was good. Machines! And there was a giant like cave orgy, which I understand. But just
I did see that one, yeah.
That didn't make sense.
That
was not Reloaded. That was...
The third one?
Revolutions. And then the names are stupid too. This is bad. Animatrix is good. Check out those.
Number 4, Star Wars Episode 3. Just because it was the best in that trilogy.
Oh, the ones with the Wookiees?
Doesn't mean it was a good movie.
No, it's not.
You were supposed to be the chosen one.
And then him rising.
Yeah.
What was it? Your wife's dead. No. And then he like forced.
I don't like the beach. I get sand in my toes.
Yeah,
was that for that one?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It was bad. It was
bad.
People are like, oh, it's the best of the trilogy. Yeah, it's still not good.
You know what's fun? To watch the movie, but watch it without the CGI if you get the special features, and just see how much actual walking and talking is done, and no actual like on sets.
Yeah.
Because everything is so CGI'd,
yeah.
and all that George Lucas had kind of worked out is like, I want you to be walking with Obi-Wan, talking about whatever, and I want you to be walking with Anakin, talking about whatever. So there's a lot of just blocking out of them just walking on green screens.
Wow.
Talking out the exposition and dialogue. It's bad, man.
It's amazing. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spider-Man.
What number?
5, right? Spider-Man 1.
Spider-Man 5? Spider-Man 5 was... 1. Oh, no,
the
that's
first
terrible
Spider-Man is not a good movie anymore.
It's not bad, though.
It's not, but it's way overrated. Everyone's like, oh, it's the best Spider-Man movie. No, it's not.
It was the best Spider-Man at the time.
At the time, but it's not now.
All right.
It wasn't that great anyway. It was...
You know, Peter Parker was great in it.
Yes.
And that is all.
That's it.
Aunt May was okay.
And they wasted Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin. Just fucking...
The man with the goblin face, you put in a goblin helmet.
And then, just a helmet. Yeah.
The Butler is alright, too.
Number 6.
Gerard Butler.
Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines.
Okay, here's the thing.
This was hyped beyond measure.
This was definitely overblown because, I mean, the last Terminator we got to see was number 2, which was...
years before.
And universally celebrated as the greatest Terminator movie, let alone one of like top 10, top 20 action movies.
Yeah.
because you bring back your villain and make him a good guy, amazing. And it's Schwarzenegger doing Schwarzenegger things at the peak of Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
So you brought him back when he was old and I think after being a governor and not as spry. This is like 2003.
Okay.
And the story is not as good, but keep in mind there's some good like
moments,
scenes in this.
Yeah.
There's a casket shootout that's just great, and there's like I don't know if it's a fire truck, but he's hanging off the back of a truck just swinging around, and I enjoyed that. But it's not.
No, it's not great. No, it's a little overrated.
It's middle of the pack Terminator movies. At this point, they're at like Terminator 7.
I think that. Yeah, I guess so. Right.
They got another one in the pipe, man.
Yeah, they got lots. Number 7, Avatar.
Which one?
The first one.
At this point, they're at Avatar 22.
85. Yeah.
Do you remember Avatar 16?
I don't.
When they had that dick thing with the dick, like in Black Ops.
The Black.
I'm wondering how you're gonna order these.
I don't know.
If those two aren't on the same episode, people think I have a real thing about dicks.
Yeah.
Ron Jeremy is also not in this.
Avatar's not a bad movie, but
it's definitely overhyped as one of the best movies.
Like, what's the best movie?
But you have to keep it in mind at that time he being James Cameron was using a lot of technology, but it's still a Pocahontas John Smith story.
That's essentially it.
With a lot of glow in the dark things. It looks really cool.
Yeah, but it's a very
and Zoe Saldana looks good in a lot of different shades.
Yeah.
Green, amazing.
Yeah,
blue, amazing.
She does
brown,
it all.
Original brown,
yeah,
amazing.
She does it all. Yeah.
I haven't seen her white face yet. Here goes for 2020.
Number 8, Return of Superman.
Ugh.
It's
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
Number
9 is X-Men. The first X-Men.
It's good.
Is it? It's okay. It's okay. But because it was like the first superhero movie.
This is 1999. So you may have
2000 is not?
No, I think it's 99. I'm gonna look it up because if it's not, then you have to push to X United.
Look it up.
X United, which is good.
Yeah,
well.
that one is good.
This one's not bad. Apocalypse. Damn it.
2000. I was right.
Right.
It just makes the cut.
It does. It starts the cut.
It's overrated. People say it's amazing. No, it's not. It's not great.
Well, who's saying it's amazing?
Sabretooth sucked.
Who's saying it's amazing in 2019? Maybe
there are people.
People say it in 2001. People, this was amazing.
People say it. People say it's still great. No, it's not great.
It doesn't hold up.
No.
But that's because their timeline is so fucked.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Toad was good.
You know what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning? Like fucking stupid dialogue. Like
the same thing as everything else. Ooh, bird, lightning, bird.
Brutal.
Well, brutal. Are we talking about scripts here, or
no? Just the movie itself. It's overrated, guys.
You didn't like the leather?
Oh, I like the look.
Were you gonna say leather there?
I like the look of Halle Berry.
No, I'm not talking just Halle Berry. The X-Men.
Oh no, the leather was stupid.
No. I like the look of Halle Berry.
I thought you were talking about Halle Berry and leather. I was like, yes.
Halle Berry. You didn't like what they did with Rogue?
No.
Sabretooth?
Hated it. Nope, fucking hated it.
Mr. Fantastic?
Mr. Fantastic.
What's that senator who ends up pushing through the bars?
Oh yeah, he becomes like liquid.
And everyone's like, "Yo, is this a Fantastic Four movie?"
Senator Kelly.
I remember people yelling out of the theater. It's amazing.
Really?
Yeah, because we thought this was we didn't know what was going on. He had glasses.
Yeah.
That's all you really need for Reed Richards.
And this has been Power Wreckings.
Oh God.
Wow.
Did you hear my car starting laugh? Oh, that hurt, man.
666.
Huh?
I said 666.
Oh, I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, you couldn't.
You're a little muffled.
666.
You know, because it's
6 o'clock.
Sure, somewhere.
Somewhere.
No, somewhere.
No, it actually is. Yeah, you're right.
Somewhere at 6 o'clock.
Somewhere. I keep 6 time.
Hey, I didn't know that.
What?
1, 2, 3. Today.
1, 2. Okay.
Yeah, but you see it? Did you see the alliteration of the numbers?
Yep.
Today.
Yeah, fascinating.
Not really.
No.
But...
Oh,
were you selling it for me? Oh, fascinating. If you could see what we're seeing.
Then it's fascination.
The universe.
Fascination-mation.
Actually, you can't see what we're talking about because we are talking about, hey, listen to segues like that.
Hey, that was good.
Audio. We're talking about audio.
No.
Have you guys ever been to Audio Visual 2001? They got great speakers there. Oh, am I not supposed to read from the commercial list? No?
No, we don't get paid for these ads yet.
No. Audio visual
No,
2001 that hasn't been around
we
since 2001.
Yeah, we don't get paid for these yet.
But I want some speakers.
I want to get paid too, but we don't get paid for. So we're talking about Trigger Warning.
Are we?
Yeah, Netflix show. That guy, Killer Mike.
That guy, Killer Mike?
Our guy.
Oh, that's what he said.
Our guy, Killer Mike.
Our guy, old Killer Mike.
Big fans of his.
Decent fans.
Can you not sell it? Can you not fucking sell it?
So this is the show from rapper, activist, businessman, entrepreneur, philosopher, like mind, just a smart guy who had some smart ideas about the way that the world is working, and got enough money and I guess a contract from Netflix because they're just giving it out.
Yeah.
To do his own TV show, and good lord.
And it's like an experimental TV show. Like every episode, he has like
it's like a documentary,
a social experiment he conducts, right?
And him essentially in beginning of each episode asking a question: what if this was this?
Like the first episode where he only wants to live off black anything that's made by black, right? So it's like
by the black community.
Black community. Thank you.
By black.
Thank you. By black.
He does say
Mr.
by black. So,
Black.
his point is he wants to see how far the dollar can sustain in the black community, because in comparison to other communities, their dollars end up staying in their community longer. And
that was cool how he broke
it down.
Yeah, he broke down the layers, right?
To the day how long a dollar would stay in the Jewish community, the
Chinese,
Asian community, the affluent white community, but to the black community, the dollar doesn't stay around.
It was ridiculous too. Remember, it was like 6 hours or something stupid.
So he has a great way of juxtaposing that to times of Jim Crow when we were segregated, and how the dollar, although we were not inclusive. I'm speaking because I'm black.
He's Mr. Black.
Mr. Black. How black people were separated from obviously integrating with other communities, but the dollar was forced to stay in that community, and obviously became stronger. So,
and his argument is the economy was actually stronger
in the black community because it was forced to stay in the black community. So everyone had to go to Harlem to go party in the Harlem Renaissance and like get your haircut, get your groceries. You had to go to this one place because you couldn't go anywhere else, and thus your dollar would stay in this community longer and obviously sustain businesses and make them grow. So he had a great way of looking at the world, even though during those times it was always obviously trying and not essentially ideal. The way you want the world to be, right? You don't want to have to be forced out of anywhere else. You want to be able to have the choice to, hey, I want to go here, I want to go here, I want to spend my dollar here. So he spends the episode
going out looking for black businesses or black-owned businesses and
spending his dollar there so he can sustain it.
Even as far with like transportation,
everything. A to Z. So he'll go to a black-owned restaurant, but if the meat was not cooked from or raised from a black farm, he can't eat it. So
his limit's 3 days, right? He did it for 3 days.
Correct.
Yeah.
So he tried his damnedest, but goddamn, like
couldn't get a car.
He got a bus.
He
got some
bike.
He got some beans and like a can of tomatoes. Couldn't get a room. But yeah, like, and that's just the first episode.
That's the first episode.
So that's how he kind of works you into this world of like, what is he trying? Everything he's trying, and he's someone that's practicing what he preaches. He's never going to be like pointing the finger at you like you need to do better. He's like, I wonder if we can do better. And that's something that's very admirable and very appealing about the show. He's someone that's going through it with us to see if we can do better as a community, black, hip hop, and like humanity, right? It keeps growing. He's never just focusing on one small little dissect of the population. He wants to be, everyone can do their part to help everyone get uplifted, right? Even to the point that he helps Bloods and Crips sell soda.
That was my favorite episode.
That's a great episode.
That was a great episode.
That's a great episode.
He wants, because we should actually get into it. But yeah, he basically helps the Bloods and Crips sell, sell merchandise, like kind of sell themselves like the Hells Angels do.
Right.
Right, and why not? They're all gangs, so why not they looked the same way? Why aren't they marketed? Why don't they market themselves like Hells Angels do?
Correct.
For example, right?
He helps discredit all the negative stereotypes that have been associated with Crips and Bloods, and helps the wider public know that, hey, these are fraternities too. It's not always violent. A lot of these organizations, like the Hells Angels, are about community uplifting and like turkeys for Thanksgiving, backpacks for kids. A lot of
Painting
these
houses and all that.
a lot of these finger quote gangs are doing a lot more for the community than, let's say, police or institutions that you would expect to do more for the community. So he finds a way to help monetize that and give more money to these groups so that they can in turn help the community, right?
Yeah, he touches on a whole lot of 6 episodes long. So
season 1, yeah, we're really
Season
hoping
1, yeah.
for season 2.
yeah, he touches on all these different topics that are very profound. They're very relevant, and there are some funny parts. There are some very serious parts. There are deep questions asked, and
and he gets to meet with a great dissection of the population.
Yeah,
because he goes to the hood. He goes to old folks' home.
He
has Hispanic homosexuals against. What's the rap group one where he has a?
He puts all the
yeah.
He puts like this motley crew of people together, and
he wanted the best supergroup to represent every kind of representation of people that is available. That's all we're gonna say about that. You have to watch the episode. It's insane.
Wild. Yeah, it's wild. It's like, how did we get here?
Yeah, and only he could do it. But it's worth checking out. And it's on Netflix, and everyone has Netflix. So.
Yeah, you got Netflix. Just watch it. And they're only like half-hour episodes, aren't they? They're not even full hours.
Yeah, you have 3 hours that you can spare.
Just watch it, man. It's worth it. It's great. You'll enjoy it if you care about humanity.
Yeah, I mean, fuck hope, do dope.
Yeah, fuck. I like it.
Fuck hope, do dope.
This segment is called Heroes from a Hat, where we pick 2 random heroes from this hat and pit them against each other in a fight. And okay, you pick first.
Not looking.
No, don't look. I'll pick now.
Okay, now I'm looking.
Now we look.
I got Weapon X Wolverine.
And I got Shang-Chi.
I lost. You want to do this fight?
Yeah.
Explain what Shang-Chi's power set is.
Extreme martial arts. Okay.
Okay, so I asked you to explain your power set, and you said extreme martial arts. So you'd be great in UFC.
Yeah.
But this ain't UFC, my friend.
Even you ain't touching me.
I'm fucking Weapon X. I'll Berserker Barrage for an hour and a half and fuck your shit.
Literally the master of Kung Fu. Like, dude.
Are you a master of getting a fucking blade to your heart?
Listen, he's arguably.
You can keep arguing. The 2 sounds you don't hear is. Once you hear that, you're done. You're done. Or do you really believe that Shang-Chi? See, that's how bad I'm gonna know this dude's name.
Shang-Chi.
I'm gonna know your name. That's how bad you're gonna lose. Do you believe that you can beat Wolverine in a fight? That silence means no, he does not.
Hand to hand, yeah.
Winner? Wolverine. You'll give it to Wolverine. You'll get. Way to give it up.
Wolverine doesn't take it, he gives it.
Good work there, Karate Kid.